What's up, Drop Pod listeners? You can check out new episodes of the Drop Podcast every Tuesday and Thursday wherever you listen to podcasts. You can find all of our content on YouTube at the Drop Golf Podcast and on our socials. That's Instagram and Twitter at the Drop_pod. No matter how you consume us, like, subscribe, rate, review, all that good stuff. Follow and listen along.
This episode is presented by All County Exteriors. Discover the excellence of All County Exteriors, a third-generation leader in premier exterior home remodeling, proudly celebrating over 40 years of success. While most remodeling companies last just 5 years, All County Exteriors has withstood the test of time, consistently delivering top-quality roofing, siding, windows, and doors. Their expertise extends from small repairs to large additions, serving homeowners and builders alike. More than just a construction company, All County Exteriors is deeply committed to community service, proudly supporting organizations such as the Make-A-Wish Foundation, the American Cancer Society, Roofs for Troops, and Parents of Autistic Children. If you have planned to do any exterior remodeling, call the experts at All County Exteriors for a free, no-obligation estimate for your project. Just call 732-370-2780 or email them at info@allcountyonline.com. That's 732-370-2780 for All County Exteriors for all your remodeling needs. This is the Drop Podcast where we talk golfing in the Garden State. I'm Mike Poro, and this is Ryan Coulott.
What's up, Drop Pod people? Welcome back. This is episode 97 coming at you on Tuesday, August 13th. Mike is gone for the first part of this recording here, this episode that we got going on. So you just got me for the first couple minutes, and then going to send it to both Mike and I on the pod. We got a couple topics that we talk about, but kind of wanted to get a little intro out of the way. I want to say out of the way, I guess. I don't want to rush through it, but we got some updates, kind of our schedule, the introduction of the show here. It's just going to be me for right now. So let's jump right into it. All right. We got yesterday, Monday, the 12th. Mike is continuing to pump out content from his Pinehurst trip. Mike played the second hole at the Cradle, 81 yards, I think I saw. If you did not check it out, head on over to the Instagram. Go check out the Mike versus the Cradle. You can also check it out on YouTube. That's where all of our content lives. Tuesday, today, the 13th, episode 97. Again, you got the visual version. You can head over to YouTube, check out us on the YouTube there. You got the video version. Wednesday, the 14th, I went out to Chicago. I talked about it on the second half of this show. Once you get Mike and I on, I got out to Cog Hill out in Illinois. Got to play there. I recorded the sixth hole. It's a par 3. Just absolutely beautiful course, beautiful hole. So stay tuned for that tomorrow. Again, that's where that'll be on Instagram. It'll be on YouTube, as always. Our guest this week is the 2024 New Jersey Open champion, Derek Gutierrez. Derek just finished his freshman year, I guess just being, this past school year's freshman year at Rutgers. He's going to be a sophomore. Really, really cool to have him on the show. Again, he's got an incredible story that I think you guys are going to love. I think a lot of people are going to relate to. So make sure you stay tuned Thursday for our interview with Derek Gutierrez. And then Friday, freaky fun Friday we got. So that's kind of a recap preview of this week coming up. All right, let me get into some golf here. I'm going to start with amateur golf today. The USGA United States AM is at Hazeltine out in Minnesota. That started yesterday, Monday the 12th, and it goes all the way to Sunday. For those that don't know, that's 2 rounds of stroke play. So Monday and Tuesday, as you're listening to this, they are either finished. They're definitely finished with day 1 or round 1 of stroke play. And on day 2, Tuesday, when you're listening to this, they are in the process of finishing that round. What happens is after stroke play, the top 64 will move on to match play. And then Wednesday through Sunday is going to be different degrees of match play. So, just like March Madness, 64, 32, 16, 8, 4, 2. And then the final day is going to be on Sunday. Sunday, the finals will be a 36-hole day between the two, between the two finalists. All of that, I shouldn't say all of it, starting on Wednesday, all of that can be found on the Golf Network or on Peacock. Different times are going to vary for that, but if you want to watch it, you can certainly go watch it. If you want to follow along, you can certainly follow along on Instagram. You go over to USGA, click on their stories. I'm sure they're going to have a link to the Golf Genius so you can follow along with the scoring and all that stuff. But again, it's a big deal for those guys to be out there. I mean, it's televised, so it's certainly an enormous deal. So that's a big thing. And I do want to give a shout out. We have 6 connections that are playing in it. We got 4 New Jersey guys: Barnes Blake, Reed Grazerman, Colin Summers, and Jack Wall, all out there. Best of luck to those 4 Jersey guys. And we've had David Ford from UNC and Stu Hagestad, who are 2 guys we've had on the show. They're also competing in it. So best of luck to those 6. Really hoping that we can get those guys moving on. And I think there's varying degrees. I think that they want to get to, obviously, to match play. And then once you get to match play, it's hey, did I accomplish my goal? Did I get to match play? Or I want to win a round in the match play. Stu's won this a few times. I think his goal is not getting to match play. I would think he's got bigger aspirations than that. Whereas some of these other guys, maybe it's, hey, it's my first time in it. I want to get here, So it's a huge deal, again, just being in it. So best of luck to those guys. Really wishing you guys well. Another big week, or continuing with our big week for New Jersey golf, the Korn Ferry Tour coming to New Jersey. The Magnit Championship is going to be played at Metedeconk. If you remember last year, I was out there, and I'll be out there again. That starts Thursday this week. Tickets are still available. We got a couple Jersey guys in this week. Morgan Hoffman is playing. John Pack is going to be playing. He's won on the Korn Ferry Tour this year. Currently, I believe, 20th on the list of Korn Ferry guys. So he's inside that top 30, looking to make his get his tour card for next year. It is the FedEx Cup playoff, so do guys like Chris or Ryan come on down, play in their home state, not far away. So to be seen there. So we'll see what happens. But again, if you want tickets, it's a great event, huge property. You get to see these guys and watch them live their aspirations. It's doesn't happen all the time, so it's certainly a cool opportunity. So if you're in the Metedeconk area, no reason not to try getting tickets and head on out there. It's a cool opportunity to see them play. All right, I'm going to stay on the PGA Tour, stay with the professional rankings, and go to the PGA Tour because, man, did we have a Sunday finish. There was a lot of stuff going on for the Wyndham Championship down in North Carolina. I want to start here. Thursday got rained out. So if you weren't aware, what they did was they did Friday, Saturday, and they played 36 on Sunday. So they played rounds 3 and 4 on Sunday. Update quickly on Ryan and Chris. Ryan did not make the cut. He's currently, as I'm looking at the standings, he's currently at 169th in points. He is projected for 167th, but I will get to the projections in a little bit. Chris had a nice tournament, finished T22, not awful. He's currently 95th in the FedEx Cup standings and projected to be 94th. So moving up, but not necessarily able to get into the FedEx Cup playoffs, but he is in that top 125 moving into next year. So that's a positive for him. Let's talk about Max, because if you haven't been following, Max has been on quite a roll. He shot 60 on Saturday. That was his second round. He follows it up with a 66 in the morning, his round 3. He's 4 under on the front, just absolutely cooking in this tournament. He is 6 under through 13 He has a 4-shot lead. He's 21 under. Aaron Ray, I believe, was 17 under. So 4-shot lead going into hole 14. He then quads. He quadded a hole. He hit it right, hits a cart path, goes out of bounds, hits his second drive. It's in the thick rough, goes into a bunker. That's just one of those bunkers that's like, hey, you just need to think about it being there. Well, he happens to find it. Comes up short, chips on, right, gets his 2-putt, ends with a quad. He then comes back and birdies 15. Think about that the fortitude that he needs, the stones that he needed to come back and say, I'm going to birdie this hole. So he birdies 13. He quads 14. Now he's tied in the tournament. Then birdies 15. Then he doubles. So now he needs something to happen. He's in the fairway, watching Aaron Ray birdie his 18th hole. That opens up a 2-stroke lead. So Max essentially needs to hole out from the fairway in order to go to a playoff, and can't get that done. He ends up finishing second in the tournament. But man, what an absolute roller coaster, and just so much going on to unpack there, between like having that lead, birdieing, going up 4 with 5 holes to play, to then giving it back, comes back, gets the birdie. I mean, just a real show of again, we talked about it with Reed, like showing the mental fortitude there, the mental toughness to come back. Unfortunately, though, with Reed, I mean, Reed's not playing the kind of competition that's on the PGA Tour there, so Reed's able to withstand it and make the jump. Have a trip, and then is able to continue. Max, unfortunately, not able to get it done to win the tournament, but man, it was. I was still impressed to see him come back and birdie that hole. Unfortunate that he did double 17, and just again, it was just a roller coaster ride. I felt like I was, I felt like I was an Anchorman. I was in a glass case of emotions there, watching it, and it's. I wanted him to win, obviously rooting for him. He's playing great golf, and just a hiccup there. And I thought he did a great job in his post-round interview, talking with Amanda Balionis about like what he's learned from this. He's like, you hit it out of bounds and put a bad swing on it. Unfortunate kick. Unfortunately, it came close to hitting somebody. You hope it doesn't hit somebody, but like if he lands in the rough and just trickles onto the cart path, that's fine. If it happened to hit that person that it missed by seemingly just a foot or so, you don't want to hit somebody, but maybe it doesn't bounce out of bounds. But no, lands in the cart path, explodes right and goes out of bounds. I mean, unfortunate situation there. So now he's got to re-tee. He drives it. It's in the left rough, super deep. It lays down. He can't really get out of it. I think he tried punching it up. He said it afterwards, a little too far, ends up going in the bunker. It's that awkward bunker shot. He can't hit the green, comes up short, has to chip it on, doesn't have a great go or a great run at it. So just a lot of stuff there that he was like, I got to take my medicine. I got to learn that, like, hey, if I just lay up, I take out quad, right? If I lay up short of the bunker, quad's out of the picture, right? 7 is still in, but that one shot kind of matters, right? So, it's at that time it would have, and again, it probably, you're probably only talking about a double if he does that, because then he can hit the green with something, maybe make a putt, get 5, or you got 6. So it's again, you want to learn lessons, whether it's in golf or in life. You want to learn lessons in victories, or when it's you can still take something positive away from it. But unfortunately, maybe he's learned this lesson in a loss, and it's a shame. But man, he's playing some good golf. Again, he shot 60 in the second round, 4 under on the front. He's cooking right now. And again, the jump up to projected to 47th is something that is, can he make some moves? next week at the St. Jude's. I mean, that would be awesome if he can continue to make cuts, get some points. I think that's a huge thing. And again, he's playing great golf right now, so that would be amazing. Something that kind of was a strange part to this was Matt Kuchar. What are you doing? What's going on? Why is he teeing off so quickly? Why is he marking it and pulling himself out of the tournament because of the light? Like, why bother teeing off if that's what you're going to do? It sounded like afterwards he was trying to play like the hero. Like, I'll let Max is going to finish because he's got a chance of winning, so let him finish. Let's get him as much light as possible. I don't know if that was his thinking. I don't know if it was his, if it was something like that. It was a very strange situation. But I say this all because what's currently going on right now, as I am sitting here recording this, Matt Kuchar is on the 18th hole. I saw that he chipped out into the fairway. His approach hit the green, right? He made the putt, took his 4. I don't know. It's not going to update the point standings, but officially, there was no winner on Sunday because the whole field did not finish. Matt Kuchar came out, finished it today. So, as of 8:17 this morning, Monday morning, it was an official tournament, but it takes a little while for those things to come up. But so that's why those guys are still all projected as to where they are in the FedEx Cup, and why Max again is currently 64th, but projected for 47th, and again either way still inside that top 70 and moving on to St. Jude's next week. I'd love to hear what Mike thought about the Kuchar situation. Very, very strange, and again, like not a hero. What are you doing? Even when he teed off, the guys in front of them are still in the fairway. So a very strange ending there to the Wyndham. But again, good for Aaron Ray. I wish Max would have won, but playing good golf. I mean, let's keep making cuts and cashing checks there, Max. So good on you there.
Are you looking for the perfect place to tee it up this season? Or just looking for a great spot for casual comfort food? Or how about the most picturesque backdrop for the wedding of your dreams? Then you need to go visit Galloping Hill Golf Course in Kenilworth, New Jersey, conveniently located in Union County, right off exit 138 on the Garden State Parkway. Galloping Hill encompasses over more than 270 beautiful acres. It was again ranked in the top 10 of best public golf courses in New Jersey. Galloping Hill also offers a top 50 in the country learning center with 52 stalls and a 45,000 square foot practice area. In addition to a 9-hole course that is ranked in the top 10 of short courses in the entire country, Galloping Hill is more than just golf. The Hill Tavern Bar and Grill is a gastropub with seasonal food and beer options updated regularly with amazing views of the course. Hosting over 100 golf outings and over 400 social events per year, their catering team consistently wins awards each year from the Knot and the Wedding Wire. Schedule a tour for your special event at the clubhouse at gallopinghill.com. It's all happening this year at Galloping Hill Golf Course. So as we continue this conversation, I mean, obviously I know it's been maybe a few weeks now since you've gone down, or I should say out to Cog Hill.
Across,
yeah, out west. But clearly you and I have been all over the map this summer. And, obviously we spent some time recapping my trip down to Pinehurst, but I do have some questions about what Cog Hill is like. And I know it's not your first time being out there, but anything that has to do with the history of my man, Tiger Woods, sparks my interest. So, I mean, I think it's important for me to ask how the trip went.
So, I recently just got back from a pretty good trip. I was in Myrtle and Hilton Head, and then out to Chicago, and then back to Myrtle. So it was quite an adventure I was on.
What that kind of sounds like a little bit. It's like the old school, like, where in the world is Carmen Sandiego? I kind of feel like, no offense, that's how it was with me, with you, trying to figure out what the hell you were.
A little peek behind the curtain. I did text Mike one day, and I said I just gave him a guess what state I'm in.
And that's the first song that came to my mind was that.
Especially because I flew from Hilton Head. I flew out of Savannah, which is in Georgia, but Hilton Head's in South Carolina. So really, I visited quite a few states. Add Georgia into it as well. But yeah, I was able to get to Cog Hill. I have family out in the Chicago area. My dad's side of the family's from out there, so I've been out to Cog Hill before. This particular one was for a bachelor party. My buddy's getting married, and before kind of the weekend festivities happened, wanted to play some golf. And Cog Hill's the #1 rated public golf course in Illinois, and it's for a reason. I mean, it is a spectacular facility. As Mike said, it hosted the Western Open for a little while, and then I think it changed its name. I might be wrong on some of this stuff, but I'm not too far off. It was the Western Open for a while, and then it became the BMW, and then the BMW moved away from Cog Hill. I'm pretty sure that's it. But there's a famous picture of Tiger walking up 18 with this wall of people behind him, and the photos taken from like the green side-ish area backwards to him, and honestly, it's a fairly iconic photo of Tiger Woods. I wouldn't say it's necessarily on the Mount Rushmore of Tiger Wood photos, but it's pretty close. It's a very recognizable picture of Tiger. So that's done at Cog Hill. So it has a pretty rich history there, and again, being the #1 public course in the state is pretty big. And had I gone and just played some regular Muni course, I don't think we're talking about it here, Mike. It's maybe a throwaway comment, but it's a tremendous facility. And I for people who are in the Chicagoland area, I mean, depending on traffic and depending on what time you go in, right? Because as the crow flies, right? As like in a straight line, even just on roads with no traffic, it's taking you a half an hour to get into the city. Took me an hour and 15 to get back to the city because there's some traffic there. So it is close to the city as far as proximity. So it's definitely doable if you're in Chicago and you're like, hey, I got my clubs, I want to go play, get onto a public place. And it's not going to disappoint. It's really not. It is an older course. It's built in like the 1930s. And I wish I knew a little bit more of the history to kind of update you guys on that. But its clubhouse is big, and you can tell built in the 30s. The clubhouse is, so there's 4 courses, 1, 2, 3, and 4. 2 and 4 are called Ravens, and number 4, which is the one we're talking about, is Dub's Dread.
Is number 4? I had to do some research because I had no idea that there was 4 golf courses. I thought Cog Hill was 1 course. Right. And then when I saw something you sent me, or I saw something that said like number 4, and I'm like, I don't know what the hell that means. So then I did some digging, and I didn't realize there's 4 golf courses.
Yeah.
So which one did Tiger play? Did you play the same one?
Same one, Dubs. Yeah.
Dubs, okay, that's number 4?
Dubs Dread is the name of the golf course number 4. And that's the one that Tiger played. That's the crown jewel. That's the
Pinehurst number 2 of Cog Hill.
Yeah.
Got it.
So then like Ravens, which is number 2, I'm pretty sure it's number 2 and not number 3. But either way,
it is. 1 it says blue, 2 says Ravines or Ravens, 3 is red, 4 is Dubs Dread.
Yeah. So 2 and 4 are like their number 2 and 4 at Pinehurst, right? Those are the two crown jewels, and they're actually set away. So like, depending on which side you come in, right? You can come in from one of 2 ways. But the clubhouse is on the right side. Again, big building. They host weddings there. There was a big outing going on 1 and 3. Loyola Chicago was having they took up both 1 and 3, and they were all on that side. So big, that big facility there that you can host a whole lot of different kind of events there. And then you go across the parking lot to the other side, and it's this smaller building, pro shop, little kind of like halfway house-ish kind of area. You know, it's got a bar, but it's not a big facility by any means. And that's where you check in for 2 and 4, and they're kind of on that side while you do play on the other side. So there's this road that kind of cuts it. You got to cross the road. For dubs, you do have to go to the other side of the road. So like 11 through 18 are on the other side. And I'm not sure how many of ravines are on the other side as well, but it's kind of mixed in with the property there. But it's kind of interesting that it's how it's separated there. It's again, it's an older facility. I don't know if it started with 4 or again, I didn't do much on the research there. But anyway, going to like number 4, it's a big boy course. It stretches out to 7,500 yards. Nobody wanted to play the back tees with me, so I didn't play the back tees.
Was that really a topic of conversation?
No,
you weren't serious.
I jokingly said I have played it from the back tees before.
7,500 yards would be like you're just like
you're playing bogey.
You're torturing yourself.
Well, you're just like when I played it, nothing. I will say this: when you play it from that far back, from someone who golfs like me, there's no trouble because you're laying up well short of any bunkers that they have out there. Then you're hitting over all of the bunkers that are there. So that is the one thing that like you're not making dog legs. So you're hitting driver out, and then you might be hitting like a 7-iron up and over because you can't reach the green with the 3 woods, and then you're hitting wedge on. So the one time I did play it, I was like, okay, the par 5, I'm playing as a par 6. Par 4, I'm playing as a par 5. And that is also a number of years ago before I was the golfer I am now. So if I did play it from back there, it might not be exactly that formula, but yeah, it's a bear. I mean, it really stretches out, and there's some holes that as you're kind of walking around, so we got to play it as a 5-some. They were really cool about it because there was 5 of us that wanted to play. So we booked 4 guys, and I booked the time before, and I was a single. So when we got there, we checked in. They were like, nobody's with you. So we had asked the starter, like, hey, I'm with those guys. Any chance? And he's like, yeah, just keep up pace. So it was really nice that he was like cool about that. And it was rather busy kind of in front of us. Like we kept up pace with the group in front of us. Again, like I love your position on the golf course is behind the group in front of you, not in front of the group behind you kind of thing. And we were right there. You know, there was no going anywhere in front of us. So it's not like a 5-some is holding anybody up and they just, you know, we told the group behind us like, hey guys, if you want to jump us, you can. It doesn't seem like you're going anywhere, but we are 5-some, you know, we're kind of here. They were awesome about it too. They were, you know, it got slow at some points where like they were getting off the tee as we were still getting off the green as we were still teeing off. So like got to interact with them a little bit. Like they were cool guys. But just a great atmosphere that like, how many places can you go? And they're like, yeah, just keep it up, be a 5-some. And so it was really nice of them to do that for us. But there's some holes. So like we played as a 5-some, we all played the same tees. We played the blue-white combo. So it's like I think it's like the black, the gold, the blue, the white. I think that's how it goes. So we played this blue-white combo. It was like 6,500 yards. And there's some holes where you look back and you cannot see the tee box. I mean, it's crazy the carry on some of these. There's one hole where we drove up and you could kind of cut it off to where we were, or you could kind of go around. It must have been another 90 yards to the back tees from where we teed up. I mean, and the back of the back tee, right? Like that back tee. But like, it's wild how much further some of those are. It's kind of cool to see where like the pros would be teeing off from. So it was awesome to see that. It was just a great experience. I mean, it was casual. It's low key. There's drinks on the course. There's cart girl going around. The course is in impeccable shape. It just got a big renovation. They redid all the bunkers. And one of the things there is it doesn't have like it has a lot of these massive bunkers, right? That are like high lipped, but I guess from all the years they've kind of lost some sand, and that was one of the big complaints they were saying is that like there's no sand to get under to get up and over the bunker lip. So they went through this big renovation. It closed last September and opened this past May, and they redid every bunker on the course. That's a big project. And you could tell, like it was beautiful. There was like some places where they were still like growing in some of the sod that was kind of like roped off, but they did that, and it just made it impeccable. I mean, it hasn't been played a ton since it opened. I think again, what I say, June. I think May 31st was the last day, so June 1st was the day it opened. So it's been open for 2 months tops. I mean, beautiful bunkers. Everything was pristine. The conditions were excellent. It's if you're again, I don't know how many people are listening to this in Chicago. I would guess my dad and my brother, and that's about it. But it was impeccable. It really was in great shape. It was awesome to see. Just a great experience. Again, letting us things like that, like letting us play as a fivesome and not like the rigid, like no, you can't. Like we're listening to music out there and vibing. There's some drinks going. It was a great experience. Cog Hill in Chicago, wonderful, wonderful place. And this really cool. It's Putter Boy in Pinehurst, right, Mike? Cog Hill has a similar thing. I don't know what they call it, but like when you walk out the back, like you go through the building, pro shop's on your right, that little like eatery is on the left, cocktails and whatnot, and you go through. They got all golf carts set up, and the 10th tee to Dubs and the first tee to Ravines is kind of right in front of you, and there's this big American flag, and right at the base of it is whatever they call this statue. It's Putter Boy in at Pinehurst, but they also have this little guy that's like toting a bag, kind of very similar looking. It was really pretty cool. I meant to take a picture as we were teeing off on 10, but I was running a little late. I may have ran inside to get another cocktail, but really cool to have, to see like those kind of little things. I know you and I talk about like the little things kind of matter, and that was one of those that's like that's a nice little touch. And then behind the putting green, it says Cog Hill with the Chicago flag. I know I sent you that picture. I think we posted it as well. Like that kind of, it's within it. It's just really cool. And the putting green is enormous. Driving range is huge. It doesn't have TrackMan. It has the top tracer. So like I was talking to my cousin's boyfriend. He goes there. He gets a big thing of balls and plays 18 holes, 36 holes in like an hour, and just plays it as like from the top tracer. So like it's a tremendous facility. It really is. I could talk for a long time about all the little things that are there. If you're in the Chicagoland area, you're not going to be disappointed. It's reasonable for the price. Again, we played it on a Thursday morning. It was $180. And you're getting it's well worth it. Well worth it. You know
anywhere
what vibes it has?
Anywhere Tiger plays and anywhere Tiger wins. I mean, I'm all in. I don't care what the price is. I know I've probably stated that many times on this podcast, but me and Tiger, I kind of want to be in his company.
That's your boy. It has very much Bethpage vibes. It's like that, like kind of an older clubhouse. A lot of stuff going on, a lot of different action. They're very similar.
Dr. Mike Palmacala at Sports Solutions Physical Therapy and Performance Development is located in Middletown, New Jersey. A Titleist Performance Institute medical practitioner, Dr. Mike uses a hands-on approach with his clients to get them out of pain and back onto the golf course. No pain, no problem. Assessments are available for golfers looking to improve flexibility, power, strength, stability, and overall efficiency with their golf swing. Don't let dysfunction disrupt your swing. Schedule an evaluation with a TPI physical therapist and check out Dr. Mike at sportsolutionspt.com and on Instagram at sportsolutionspt.
Which, Mike, kind of that brings me to this point. I was kind of thinking about this, talking about Bethpage, talking about, Cog Hill. Like these are golfing destinations, right? You can go play multiple rounds at Cog Hill. And I've played all 4 of the golf courses at Cog Hill. Even the quote unquote worst one is a good golf course. It's well manicured. It's you're going to have fun at it. It's not a bad golf course. It's not like it's not like you're going to take golf courses in Monmouth County. Like, it's not like you're taking Hominy Hill is Dub's Dread, and then Spring Meadow is the other one. Like it's a drop for sure, but it's not that, you're still playing a good golf course. It's not stretched out as much. It's more of a fun golf course, I would say, but still really good. So like you have these golf courses that are kind of like destinations where you can go and you can get challenged and you can go play and that kind of thing. Same thing with Bethpage, right? You can go play the black from the blue tees and play the tees that the pros play, right? But then you also have 4 other golf courses there. And it kind of got me thinking a little bigger, right? Like you got all these other ones. You went and played Pinehurst. You have Streamsong down in Florida. You got the Ozarks in Missouri. You got Cabot. You got Bandon. You got all these places. Like, what? Let's talk golf destinations. Like, what's the one, you again, take Pinehurst away, but what are you, I don't even know where to start. Like, what are you looking for in like a golf course destination or a golf trip destination? What are things that you want to see, do? What are, like, I just have so many questions, but like, what's your favorite? What are you looking forward to? You got, let's banter this out here.
I mean, listen, I think I am a little bit different than a lot of people when it comes to a golf trip, right? I'm going on a golf trip to golf. The extracurricular for me is really not something I'm looking forward to. Like for me, it's if I'm going on a golf trip, that's kind of what we just did is we play golf. Like I'm not a big drinker, so I'm not sitting there pounding beers on the golf course, getting tired. I'm not looking to sit on the patio, hang out, BS. Like I can do that while we play. Like I like an all about golfing destination resort that gives me the opportunity to play 36 in a day. Because to me, it's like, all right, if I'm going to go on a golf trip and I'm taking time away, like that's what I'm there to do. So, I mean, I started to think about spots that you just brought up. I would love to get out to Bandon. Jeff, definitely go out there. I'd love to get out to like Chambers Bay. I'd love to get out to Erin Hills. There's certain golf courses, Whistling Straits. There's certain golf course. I think for me, Pebble Beach would be probably my favorite golf course in the world if I got to play it on a nice day, because I think the views there just seem to be top notch. But I also don't know, like, is Pebble Beach and the courses that surround it a golf destination for a maniac like me? I don't know. So then I started to dive deeper into like, what is a golf centric destination for someone like me? And to me, like Streamsong ended up being the spot because there's nothing around Streamsong. There's nothing. You're driving into the middle of nowhere. And all there is 4 or 5 different golf courses with a short course mixed in. That's it. You're not driving into town to see what things are. You literally get dropped off in like an isolated spot and you're surrounded by golf. To me, like that is like heaven. That's like heaven because I don't need the surrounding areas. I don't need to socialize. I just need myself, my sticks, my group, and let's go. So to me, like Streamsong seemed to be ideal. Not to say I wouldn't go to Erin Hills, Pebble Beach, Bandon, the Ozarks, all these other amazing spots. I just may be venturing off the ship a little bit to go play more, whereas some guys don't care to do that as much.
Gotcha. So and this is funny because you're a maniac. You're going to golf religiously. You want to play 54
sun up to
holes
sundown.
The first day? Yeah. I think that's it. When you're going on a golf trip or you're going with a buddy's trip or you're doing something like that, me personally, I like the balance. One of the days needs to be 36. But then then there needs to be a day where like maybe there's, and I'm not even saying go out into town, right? Like there's got to be something. And again, never been to any of those places, but like there's probably a spot, there's like a bar that you can go to, or even if you're just hanging out at the hotel bar, like one of these days where we have like a little bit later-ish tea time where we can like slowly wake up, or like play the short course in the morning and then have lunch, so you've kind of gotten to go into your day a little bit because you explored a little bit the night before. Maybe the buddies, you went a little harder at night. But like I do agree with you. Like I'm not going on a golf trip to just get absolutely wasted. I might have a few cocktails, but I'm going to stay within a reasonable or manageable thing, because I also want to play golf. Like I'm going there to play golf, but I can also like, hey, let's play golf, and then let's hang out. Like let's have some time on the porch, like that your house at Pinehurst, like just watching the golfers go by. I think I could sit on that porch all day and just watch them. Like, give me a John Daly and let them go. Just wave, hey, how you doing, and let them go. Like I could do that. I could play. Maybe it's 18 in the morning, like 7, get a quick snack, and then play the short course. Kind of done with golf by 2 or 3. And then some downtime to relax. Like I'm okay with that. And I know that's not you. And I'm not saying that should be the whole trip, because I do think if you're going on a golf trip, like if you're going on a 3-day golf trip, one of the days needs to be 36, because you're trying to get them in. So it's not necessarily the surrounding area that I think you need. It's not necessarily, like you said, Stream Song, there's nothing around. I don't necessarily need to go like explore a town or anything. Like Pinehurst has the brewery. There's like a little bit of life in the town of Pinehurst, right? I don't necessarily need to go explore that, because and again, never been there, but like look at Ozarks National. There's like log cabins, and there's definitely like places where you could go have some fun somewhere, right? On property. I would imagine that a place like Erin Hills or Whistling Straits, probably the same thing. But I know Bandon's in the middle of nowhere. Again, never been there, but I know you fly into the airport and then it's still a 3-hour shuttle drive. So like you're talking about being in the middle of nowhere. So like, and then and I'm wearing my Tory hat for a reason, like, even to get to stuff that's like San Diego is still like half an hour away from Torrey, 20 minutes away from Torrey. So like to be able to stay on Torrey, have the 2 golf courses there, and just have a night at that lodge that's there looking at the water, like you could definitely make something happen there. You don't need to go exploring off campus there, I guess would be the word.
Yeah. I mean, listen, I think that's where it's just, and it's funny because I think we've seen many TikToks and many reels that describe like golfing trips, because everybody on every trip has the one guy that does this, or the one guy that gets hammered and misses the tee time, or the one maniac like me that wakes up at 6 and all he wants to do is go golf. He's dressed ready to go. And then there's a casual guy. Like we all have those buddies. And then when you think about a trip, that's the hard part is finding
together,
putting in the balance of what everybody's looking for. Yeah. But I think no matter what, everybody can make the trip, regardless of where you're going, make it what you want it to be. Like, for example, like you and I, if there wasn't a day you wanted to play 36, it's not stopping me from playing in the morning or in the afternoon. So you can still do what you're looking to do. And I threw out Stream Song only because I've heard the stories about you feel like you're dropped in the middle of nowhere. There's like no surrounding area. Like there's nothing. Yeah. But that doesn't stop me. If you want to drop me in Bandon, I'll gladly go there. If you want to drop me anywhere that has like golf destination, resorts, great golf, and nice weather, hell, I'm sure we could find it anywhere. But in terms of like a spot you'd like to go, is there a number 1 on the bucket list right now for you?
So I'm glad you asked, because I was going to ask the same thing. It's tough not to say Pinehurst, but I've done Pinehurst. I've played 1, 3, and 5, but I've never stayed at Pinehurst. So for me, when you're asking me this question, I'm thinking like, okay, stay on property, golf on property, do everything on property. So for me, so like for you, I would think you're going to take Pinehurst out. While I've played Pinehurst, I'm still going to keep it in because I've never stayed there and experienced it, right? That said, I don't know if it's Pinehurst because I'm so curious about Bandon because so many people talk about Bandon. And recently, I don't know exactly when, but I know recently they opened up a par 3, like a short course. I don't know. The Bandon just has an allure to me that maybe it's the views, maybe because it's the West Coast, maybe because it's I don't know. I don't know. But Bandon has an allure to me that none of the others have. And the only one that comes close, I think, is the Ozarks. And that's just because of Tiger, I think. So I don't know. I mean, you can't go wrong with Erin Hills or Whistling Straight. You know, they've had Ryder Cups and U.S. Opens there. Cabot, like when I was first getting into like golf simulators, I'd be tired of going down. So I just play Cabot Links all the time because Cabot's with a C. You don't have to, like, it's one of the first ones that's up there. Those views look spectacular. And we've seen people that have gone there and, you know, like, again, it's not like I wouldn't want to play there. You look at like how high they are on the cliffs, like the links looks like you're in Ireland. So yeah, I don't know. I all of them I'd want to get to, but I think for me, Bandon is the one that like the views, the aura, the golf, like the golf centric part of it. For me, I think it's Bandon.
Yeah, I mean, listen, I can't argue that. I mean, I can't. I would love to pack my bags and head west too. I think for me, it's a little different. Like there is one golf I want to play Pebble Beach. That is like my number one bucket list golf course that I want to play. Now, obviously, you can't control the weather, but I would love to play it on a day where you really can see the Pacific Ocean. To me, like that is the course I want to play. I don't know if you're going to make that a trip. So I kind of take that course out of a resort type destination, even though that's where I want to play.
So I think that's fair to at least bring up, Mike, and I'm pulling up Google Maps now. I know there's a few courses right there, though. There is
you got Spyglass,
Pebble,
Spanish
Spyglass, Spanish Bay. Yep. So there is a couple there that are public, right? Like right. I think all those are public on that little.
Right. That little peninsula
there. Yeah. But I see what you mean. Like they're not connected really. You got Pebble, you got Cypress, you have what's the one you just said, Spyglass. So like,
yeah, you're not getting on Cypress, but again,
right. But I'm saying like there's golf course. I'm just looking at the map now. There's golf courses in that area. And while not connected, there's some there. Spanish Bay is a little bit north. Yeah. But I see what you mean. Like that little like square peninsula that kind of juts out there. You got a whole bunch of golf courses that are awesome.
So to me, listen, Pebble's number one. That is the spot I want to go play maybe before I die. But the number one spot I would like to visit right now has to be Whistling Straits. I mean, I don't know what it is about Whistling Straits. I've never traveled to the Midwest. There's nothing in the Midwest that interests me whatsoever. But when
my brother just took offense to that.
That's I probably offend a lot of people. Let's be real. I just think there's something about Whistling Straits being out there on Lake Michigan. I just don't know what it is. I'm drawn to that. Those pictures are so nice, along with the amazing golf courses that are out there. I just want to go there. So I don't know what I need to do, who I need to meet, how much money I need to have. I don't know. But to me, I need to find a way to get there. And I'm going to start hitchhiking with the bag, the clubs on the back, and we're just going to figure it out. But Whistling Straits is my number one.
Yeah, I mean, not. I don't think we can go wrong in any of these, right? Like that's
no. Listen, I don't know how you can, because if you're telling me I could go, to like Ocean City, Maryland for a golf trip,
Right.
I'd go. Okay. Doesn't take much to convince me if I can make it work to go on a golf trip. It doesn't.
So Mike, I've never been on a golf trip.
What do you mean?
Yeah, I think that's fair to say.
Like,
I've never been like, hey guys, there's 8 of us. Let's get together. We're playing these places. I've golfed on a trip and I've golfed multiple times on a trip, but like I've never been like, hey, let's do a golf trip. Let's have the 6 of us, 8 of us, 10 of us,
Wow.
12 of us, whatever it is, and
That's
be like,
interesting.
hey, let's go. Yeah, I don't
see. When I was in college, we used to go to Ocean City, Maryland, and I used to put the whole trip together. We'd have anywhere between 8 to 16 guys, and I had the dinner reservations, I had the tea times, you know me, every minute was planned for, and we all would go. The games. This is the game we're playing this day. How much? I've been down to Sea Island, Georgia, one time with all my college guys on a spring break trip. We've been to Pinehurst. Yeah, that's kind of crazy to hear that you've never done something like that, unless you don't have golf maniac friends like that.
And that's the thing, like, because of where I am in my golf life, golf journey, golf, whatever you want to say, like you played in college, so you had built-in friends that were like golf guys that were like, we want to go on a golf trip. Like, I think my friends, and now, especially as we're getting older, like, I think they'd be more into it. It's now a matter of like finding time between like wife and kids and work and all that kind of stuff. But like, I think they'd be more interested now than we were before, because I just don't have that crew of like built-in golfers with me. I have people that like to play golf, but nobody that's like, quite frankly, nobody that's like you, like that. Nobody that's like that main, like, yeah, let's go play a golf trip. And I don't even mean like you need to be on your level, but nobody else that's like me, right? Or enough people that are like me to go on, to be like, hey, let's go here and let's go spend a weekend and let's go do that.
I think if I had the time, if there was a time that I was able to like say, you know what, I can go on a golf trip these 5 days.
Yeah.
I think how I am and texting old buddies, newer friends, I think I could rummage easily 8 to 16 guys. I'd be like, you know what? I'm in.
Yeah.
I wish we could do that. I wish we could just say, listen, where are we going next year? Where are we going the year after? Because it's amazing. It's amazing how much fun it ends up being. It really is. But it's also a lot of work. It is. So for as much fun it is, there is the behind the scenes aspect of it. But listen, there doesn't need much convincing on this end for me to say I want to go on a golf trip. It's a matter of like, you have 24 hours in a day, 7 days a week. How can you figure that out? Puzzle out.
Yeah.
I don't know.
I wonder, how many people do you need to go on a golf trip? Like, what would it be considered?
4.
You're saying minimum, you got to fill out a foursome.
Ideally, you need 4 guys because within that, like, you have your group. You have your foursome. You're playing here, and then it's also like, all right, if someone doesn't want to play, or 2 guys say, you know what, I'm not playing, you still have a twosome. You don't have to be golfing by yourself. I don't think you could go with just. Listen, you and I could probably go because we know what we're doing, right, and you know what you're getting yourself into. Whereas, like, I probably couldn't go with a random person unless they really know Mike Poro and how much of a maniac he is and what I'm getting into. And they're like me.
Yeah.
Because if we're built the same way, I just need somebody else.
And you know what? Like you said, like, you could have days where you're going to play. You go for a 4-day golf trip, right? Like I said, at least one of those days needs to be 36. And I think everybody, even if you have 16 guys going, everybody's got to be in for a 36 day. But then you also might have like, hey, we're going to play 36 and we're going to play 18 in the short course the next day. And then we're going to play 18 on day 3 in the morning. And if anybody else wants to play 36, we have here's your option, right? And maybe not everybody's going to take that, because then that's the time where like some guys are going to be like, I'm tired and sore. My back hurts. Like
I'm not
guys that
playing
aren't
well.
like golfers, not playing well. I want to enjoy the pool. I'm going to go get some sun. Like I don't, depending on where you are, like again, Stream Song, you're not going into town, but like if you're at Pinehurst, maybe it's like, you know what? I'm going to go back. I'm going to shower. I'm going to nap. And I want to hit Pinehurst Brewery, or I want to go explore the little town, or like go see some shops. I don't know, but like there's other things that you can do in those places. It meant, hey, this is the afternoon to do it, right? Because then we're going to wake up the next day, we're going to play 18, and we're going to fly home.
Yeah.
So that
Listen,
kind of,
you know what I'm waiting for?
we just planned it. Look for us. We just planned a trip.
One of these days, something's going to happen with some sort of golf package is going to reach out to us and say, listen, I heard what you guys talked about. I heard what you guys said. We'd love to have you guys come down for 3 days, 2 nights, do all this stuff. Crystal Springs,
Yeah.
I want you to mirror what's going on there and highlight this resort or our resort or this course. And I'll be like, sign me the beep up.
100%. And I think this is appropriate time. We did just talk about Crystal Springs, and I don't want to make it seem like that's not a golf destination, because it certainly is. I mean, we saw it prove, like Ballyowen, fantastic. Wild Turkey, excellent. Black Bear, fantastic, fabulous. It's, you can certainly go there. I think that we're talking about like the bigger ones, or the more popular national recognized. Crystal Springs is more a regional kind of area, because then you could also talk about, like, I know there's ones like Crystal Springs up in like New Hampshire, Vermont. Like you have these ones that are kind of like that. But yeah, I'll tell you, I am envious. There's an account on Instagram that I follow that like puts it like, it's like the title of the account might be like 3-day golf trip or something like that. And it has all these like it'll put together like little pictures and kind of information. I think that'd be awesome. That'd be really great if they put that together. Yeah, I don't think I have anything else, Mike. You got anything else about this? I think it's just, I get so excited thinking about it.
Now you're just going to make me sit here and ponder about what's next in my life in terms of a golf trip, because there's nothing planned. But listen, I guess this is one of the things you can just say, like, let a man dream.
Well, I did put out there to my like group of friends, like I put a big email together. I'm turning 39 later this year, and I sent to everybody, like in my friend group, I'm on the older side, right? November birthday is kind of closer to where you started school. So the summer after I turn 40, so I'll already be 40. But a lot of my friends will be either 40 or turning 40. And I was like, we need to do a golf trip for our 40th birthdays. Start planning now. Put in your wife's ears now. Put it in your girlfriend's ears. You start dating somebody, let them know that it's happening. Because that summer of 26, we're doing a golf trip. Again, I've never
it's a long way away to plan it. Let's worry about can we talk about like what's going on the summer of 25 or the winter of 25, or let's get something more like we can look forward to.
Yeah.
I'm hopeful I'm alive in summer of 26. You're trying to plan a golf trip.
I just threw the idea out there. It's not getting planned yet, but
listen.
Yeah,
listen. I'd love to hear what everybody else thinks about resorts. If not the ones we brought up, ones they visited, ones they recommend. And we didn't even bring up Myrtle Beach, which is another spot you could go down and camp out and play forever too. So, I mean, listen, I guess we could sit here and go on every single different spot in every state.
Right.
But listen,
right.
One day we'll do this. One day we'll do this.
I think we just looked at like the big national ones. We mentioned, I know you mentioned Pebble, but I wouldn't even say that that's a destination. That's more of like, there's a bunch of courses in this area, like Bandon, Erin Hills, Whistling Straits, Pinehurst, Ozarks, Stream Song. Like those are the 6 big national ones. I don't think we're missing any other ones that are bigger than those, right?
Not that ringing a bell in my mind right this second. I'm sure once we hang this up, it'll be like, oh, right, I got this one, add this in real quick.
Cabot. I just forgot about Cabot there. So there's 7. So like, I don't think when you say Myrtle Beach, 1,000%, you can go stay at Barefoot. You can stay at Legends. Like they have their own, but I think Myrtle Beach has so many golf courses in the area. You don't need to stay at a at a resort there in order to like you can kind of plan your own, right? And when I was down there last, I played at Barefoot. It was phenomenal. It's you wouldn't lose anything from Myrtle Beach playing there either. So it's kind of whatever you're feeling. I would imagine that like flights and travel probably has more to do with where you play than anything else, right? Like for us, it's 5-hour flight to get to Bandon, 3 hours to get there. You're talking about a day travel back, play for 3 days. If your wife is like, hey, you have 3 days to go play golf, you're more likely to go to Myrtle or Ocean City, Maryland, or maybe Crystal Springs. Like you have, because you're talking about 2 days for travel. So that's, if you get 3 days, 1 day for golf just isn't feasible. So all that kind of comes into play too. All right. Yeah, I would love to hear what you guys think. Right? Where's your number one? We talked about a poll last week, Mike. Maybe we run it up the poll this week. What's the favorite on that list? That's it for Mike and I this week. Stay tuned Thursday. We have the New Jersey State Open champion, Derek Gutierrez, coming on. It was really cool to talk to Derek, Mike, because Derek's not a known name, right? Like kind of freshman at Rutgers, going to be a sophomore at Rutgers, right? And just kind of burst onto the scene playing some awesome golf, and hearing his story is amazing. Kind of where he's come from to where he is now is really, really cool to hear. So that's what we got on Thursday this week. So stay tuned, follow along, listen to our interview with Derek Gutierrez. Cheers.